Have you ever felt that you were born with a greater purpose, but you never knew how to explain exactly which one? Have you ever been feeling that you carry something sacred inside you, as if you were here by a divine call, a hidden mission? For no, this may not be coincidence. According to Edgar Cayce, the prophet who saw beyond time, 12 signs were marked with a heavenly seal. Each received a gift, a mission, a sacred code to guide the people in the days of darkness. Cayce was not an ordinary man. His visions went through dimensions and revealed that not all born under the signs of the zodiac came only to live. Some came to awaken. And if your sign is among the chosen ones, you carry more than an astral chart. You carry a spiritual seal of God. Imagine this. While many walk in the emptiness, there are 12 invisible guides among us, old souls disguised as ordinary people, and each vibrates with an energy that cannot be ignored. They feel more, suffer more, intuit more, because they were born to carry the light when everything around seems lost. What did Cayce saw by closing his eyes and accessing eternal records? What forces he described when he spoke of the signs that would never be alone? Why were they protected by something superior? If you are listening to this message now, it is no coincidence. It may be that the prophecy is fulfilling itself through you, and although everything seems confusing, the seal may already be activated within your soul. But what are the signs sealed? What do they need to wake up? And how to know if you are one of the chosen ones? The answer begins now. If at some point in your life you felt that you carry something different, that your pains are deeper, your most intense dreams, your almost scary intuitions, so you need to keep watching this video until the end, because what we will reveal here can explain why you have never completely fitted into the world around you. It may be the sign your soul was waiting for. And before I follow, I want to ask you something important. Leave your sign in the comments. This is not just a curiosity. It is a way for you to position yourself energetically as part of this revelation. Writing your sign, you activate your own spiritual seal. You recognize yourself as someone who is ready to wake up. What's more, comment if you have already felt any invisible protection in difficult times. Many are going through this, and their experience can serve as a headlight to another, soul in darkness. Take advantage now and click the like, because this is not just a content, it's a collective call. Each like that makes this message reach those who need to hear. Subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with me. Here you will find out what no one has ever told you about your sign, your soul, and your true mission in this plan. You are not alone. The chosen ones are recognizing themselves, and this video is a portal for this spiritual reunion. Now that you have arrived, here, get ready, because in the next step, you will find out what are the 12 signs sealed by God and what each was sent to awaken. The call is just beginning. Have you ever felt like you came to the world with something else? Not just a life to live, but a mission to fulfill? As if everything around you were part of a large plan, but you haven't deciphered your role inside it yet? And as much as no one around you seems to understand, you feel that you carry something different, as if you have a saved energy, a silent call that whispers inside you when the world seems to crumble. Perhaps this is not the result of your imagination. Perhaps it is your soul recognizing something that Edgar Cayce had predicted decades ago. Cayce said that some are born marked with the seal of God. They are not perfect people, nor necessarily the strongest or spiritually evolved, but they are people who came to the world with the spirit ready to support, transform, and guide. People who face internal battles from an early age, who feel a constant restlessness, who know that they do not belong totally to this world. He described these individuals as bearers of light, old souls disguised as ordinary people, living among us, silently waiting for the right time to wake up or be awakened by something bigger. And the most impressive, according to Cayce's spiritual visions, these chosen ones were born under 12 specific signs of the zodiac, each with a sacred purpose and a divine virtue. They are not here by chance. They came with spiritual codes inscribed in their essence, carrying within themselves the gifts that will be fundamental to cross times of darkness, the times that may have already begun, while the world screams for answers, the chosen silence. And here, while everything seems to crumble, they feel within themselves a deep call to do something they don't always know, explain, but they can't ignore. Perhaps that's why you get emotional with music without reason. They have shivers to hear certain words, Dreams of places that you have never visited or are attended when you are alone. Perhaps that's why you frustrate with people's superficiality. You feel out of charge in banal conversations, and even trying to fit in, you feel born for something different. It's not crazy. It is no exaggeration. It is a trace of those who were sealed. Cayce said that these individuals have the spirit connected with subtle plans, so they often feel too much, suffer too much, forgive too much, think so much, but they also realize things that others do not see. Can you understand how this connects with your journey here? Relationships that didn't work out, the repetitive cycles, the falls, the losses, the silent struggles that no one has seen but that sculptures something that does not go out. All of this was part of a preparation, because before it is light, you had to walk through the shadow, and before guiding someone, you had to learn to survive alone. Cayce believed the pain was the preparation of the chosen ones, not a punishment but a training to support and illuminate. And each sign, according to him, received a key, a specific frequency, a gift that when activated, becomes a spiritual lighthouse for those who are lost. Some signs were sealed with the power of emotional healing, others with the gift of vision beyond time, still others with the strength of regeneration, leadership, sacred communication, divine justice. Each energy represents a piece of the larger plane, and all the chosen ones are being activated at this time in history. It is no coincidence that you are listening to this now. The very synchronicity of this moment is already a sign, and maybe deep down, you already know that. Perhaps it has felt it since I was a child, the feeling that it was not the same as others, the feeling of being observed by the invisible, the feeling that was being guided, even without understanding where, this constant feeling that something big expects you, but that you need to remember who you are. And now it all starts to fit. The pain, the signs, the losses, the reunions. They were not accidents. They were codes, training, called. So what you will find out can completely transform the way you see your own sign. Because perhaps he is not just a personality description, but a divine revelation about his spiritual mission in this life. And here is an important warning. The closer you approach your essence, the more the signs intensify. Stronger becomes your intuition. More present is the feeling that something is awakening inside you, something that can no longer be ignored. Now that you know that 12 signs have been sealed with a heavenly purpose, it's time to find out if your sign is among them. What's more, which gift you carry, even unknowingly. But before this journey continues, I want to make a very special request. If you are feeling that this message is for you, comment here below your sign. Not only for me to know that you have gotten here, but for you to declare energetically that you are ready to remember who you are. Also write in the comments the phrase, "I accept my mission," or if you prefer, "I was sealed." These words are not just comments. They are activation codes. They mark their commitment to their essence. And if you've ever lived a strange sign, if you've had a dream that looked like a warning, or felt invisible protection at decisive moments of life, write here in the comments, "My angel guided me," or "I felt the call." Your story can inspire other people who are also looking for answers. And of course, if this message has touched you somehow, leave your like, because it helps to take this truth to other souls that are ready to wake up. And subscribe to the channel because this is just the first revelation. What you will find out in the next few minutes and in the next few videos can finally explain why you have always felt so different. Breathe deep. Prepares. Because now, we will reveal what the 12 signs chosen by God are, according to the visions of Edgar Cayce, and what each was sent to do in this world. Now, if at some point in this video you felt something inside you wake up, if the words played a pain that you might not even know you carried, then I want to make you a very special invitation. I want to invite you to download your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026. This is not common content. He reveals what few have the courage to say, that each sign carries invisible scars, emotional trauma, spiritual blockages, and repeated patterns. Even when you try to do everything different, maybe you don't know where so much comes from. Nonsity, so much pain, so much sensitivity, but you feel, deep down, as if something was trying to warn you a long time ago, as if the universe was preparing you in silence. If this is your case, do not ignore this call. It may be the beginning of your liberation. Access to the book is in the first comment, but it is limited. This wisdom will not be available forever. If you are here now, it is because the time has come. The moment of looking at your wounds not as weakness, but as portals. Click on the first comment, receive your copy, and take the first step. Your soul knows the way. Edgar Cayce was not an ordinary man. It was not just a sensitive, a mystic, or any prophet. He was a living channel of spiritual revelations that still challenged the limits of reason and science. Known as the sleeping prophet, Cayce entered states of deep trance where he accessed information that seemed to come from another dimension. From records he himself called Akashic records, etheric archives where the story of all souls is written. During his life, more than 14,000 documented spiritual readings were, revealing from healing to soul maps, explanations of past lives, and clear visions of a future where humanity would go through unprecedented awakening. But among all these views, there was one that stands out, a rare, silent revelation, transmitted almost like a whisper of the divine. Cayce saw that 12 spiritual forces had been activated on the ground plane, each sealed within the energy of a zodiac sign. And the most surprising, these seals were not symbolic. They were real, energetic, vibrational, spiritually active. Each sign carried a gift, a virtue, a brand, and these spiritual marks were placed there by a superior intelligence as a way to ensure that the light would not go out at the darkest moments of humanity. This view was not popularly shared. She was hidden amid hundreds of other revelations, perhaps because it was necessary to wait for the right time, a time like now, when the world is in crisis, plunged into existential doubts, where so many seek meaning, protection, and direction. It was exactly for those times that Cayce saw the seals being activated. The 12 signs, he said, were being awake from the inside out, one by one, as if the souls chosen for this mission were finally remembering who they are. What Cayce realized goes beyond traditional astrology. He did not only speak of generic personality, behavior, or predictions. He spoke of essence, of destination, of divine codes inscribed in the spirit. He said that the soul chooses the moment and the sign under which it will be born, with sacred precision, because each sign brings a necessary gift to the collective plane. And in his deepest revelation, he saw that these 12 gifts were sealed, dormant until the conditions of the world demanded their activation. When chaos began to take care, the chosen ones would begin to feel the call. They would begin to remember. And most importantly, Cayce said that not all of the same sign would be activated. Only those who accepted their soul mission, those who, even without understanding everything rationally, felt a silent yes within themselves to hear these words. Because the seal is not imposed, he is recognized. He pulsates to who is ready, in whom he carries in his heart the search for something he never found out. And if you are here, listening to this, perhaps your soul is reacting right now, because you recognize this truth as something you always knew, but you still have no words to explain. You may have felt this since childhood, above normal sensitivity, recurring dreams with places or symbols, a feeling of being prepared for something that never knew what it was. It may be that your life has been marked by restarts, deep loss, pain no one has seen, but somehow shaped you inside. Cayce explained this as the spiritual price that the chosen ones pay before receiving their gift. He said, "The soul is sealed only after enduring fire. It is in the middle of the pain that the bearers of light discover its mission." This phrase echoes in the hearts that went through silent battles, which felt like giving up, but continued. Unknowingly, they were being trained by the light itself. Each seal carries a vibrational symbol, a purpose, and Cayce described this with surprising details. Some signs were marked to protect, others to heal, others to conduct transformations, awaken consciousness, open spiritual portals, support collective hope. And so, many of these chosen people spend their lives feeling different, misunderstood, often isolated, because their souls vibrate at a higher, more sensitive, older frequency. And every ancient soul carries memories that the modern world does not understand. Imagine carrying a light that cannot be seen, but attracts those who need to be guided. This is what happens to the sealed. They don't have to prove anything. They don't need to be perfect. Your presence already transforms. Cayce said that these 12 seals form a kind of spiritual circle around the planet. as if each sealed sign were a point of light on the great map of the human awakening. And now, as the world crosses profound changes, these points are beginning to light up, and that is why your sign matters. Not in the superficial sense, but in the most sacred sense, because maybe inside it is the code of your call, the key to your real purpose. And when you understand what your sign carries, spiritually speaking, you stop blaming your pain, your differences, your falls. You start to see all this as part of your journey to become what was sent to be. So now that you understand who Edgar Cayce was and the depth of the legacy he left, it's time to look at himself with other eyes, to ask yourself with sincerity, am I one of the chosen ones? Does my sign hold one of the divine seals? Was it all my journey so far, in fact, a path of preparation? These questions are not simple, but they may be the beginning of something you have waited for lives to find. And before going to the revelation of Cayce's sealed signs, I want to invite you to do something very important. If this content has touched you in any way, if something inside you is vibrating with this message, comment below with your sign and write, I recognize my seal. You can also write, I'm one of the 12, or my soul woke up. Phrases that are not just words, but ways to energetically declare that you are ready to remember who you are. And if you have already lived any sign, some mystical dream, a too strong intuition to ignore, share in the comments as well. Its story can light the light on someone who is still in the dark. And of course, if you haven't enjoyed this video yet, click the like now. This makes this message reach even more people who, like you, are awakening. And it subscribes to the channel, because what comes next is the moment that everyone expected. The revelation of the 12 signs sealed by God according to the prophetic views of Edgar Cayce. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign, and How to Heal them before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. Each zodiac sign carries a unique energy. This many have heard, but what few know, and that Edgar Cayce revealed in one of its deeper trance states, is that this energy goes far beyond personality or everyday behavior. She is spiritual, she is ancestral, she is sacred. Cayce described that at a time when humanity needed guide, real and reconnecting, 12 seals would be activated, each attributed to one of the signs of the zodiac. These seals are not visible, but their manifestations reveal themselves in the soul, destiny, and vibration of each marked being. Each of these signs was sealed with a divine virtue, a specific spiritual mission to fulfill in this world, and it is no coincidence. According to Cayce, these virtues are as instruments of a great cosmic orchestra, each necessary, each with its exact role at the right time. When one is silenced, the larger plan loses strength. When they all align, the collective awakening happens. So even if you have heard about your sign superficially, what is about to reveal is a perspective that goes beyond everything you know. A new lens, a new truth, and perhaps, the most important of all, Aries, for example, did not just come to fight or start ways, came sealed with the flame of spiritual courage. A courage that is not just action, but faith in the face of uncertainty. The chosen Aryan feels within him a fire that pushes him to protect others, to lead when no one else has the strength, to open trails when everything seems closed. Its mission is to inspire movement and break cycles of spiritual stagnation. He is the one who lights the light amid chaos. Taurus, on the other hand, carries the seal of sacred stability, but it is not just material security, although it is part of your field. The sealed Taurus has as its spiritual mission to sustain faith, keep the base firm when everything around is ruining. He is the guardian of the inner value, of the internal temple, and has the gift of channeling spiritual abundance for those who are in need. The presence from a sealed bull calms, nourishes, and anchors the energy of the group. Gemini received the seal of divine communication. Its mission is not just to speak, but to convey spiritual codes through words. The chosen Gemini are like cosmic messengers. Often they do not understand why they feel so much or process the world with such speed, but this is because they carry within themselves spiritual antennas. They are here to connect dimensions, to translate the invisible into understandable words, to teach and awaken. Cancer carries the seal of ancestral healing. Your gift is emotional, but also deeply spiritual. The chosen Cancers feel everything with intensity because they are the silent curators of the world. They access old memories, whole lines, and turn it all into love, protection, welcome. Its sensitivity is not weakness. It is the tool that the universe has chosen to heal wounds that even time could not play. Leo was sealed with the flame of luminous leadership. But different from pride, this leadership has spiritual root. The sealed Leonino does not lead to be served, but to inspire. Its mission is to remind others the power of the light itself. They carry a spark of the divine in their eyes, a presence that raises, a charisma that attracts, not to you, but to something bigger. They open their eyes from those who forgot who they are. Virgin, with his seal of spiritual restoration, has the mission of organizing the invisible. Many Virginians feel that they carry the weight of the world because they were called to fix what was broken, heal what was neglected, to form what seemed lost. They see details that others don't see, and that's no chance. This is the gift of restoring divine harmony in little things. They are silent alchemists. Libra received the seal of divine justice. More than balance, its mission is to bring awareness to relationships, cure bonds, and act as a mirror of what needs to be adjusted. The chosen Librian carries the sensitivity of seeing all sides, and the wisdom of intuiting what is right even when the world is contradicted. They are bridges among opposites. They are spiritual peacemakers. They are here to restore the subtle order. Scorpion was sealed with the key of deep transformation. They are the bearers of symbolic death, not in the literal sense, but in the sense of the Renaissance. Sealed Scorpions are prepared early on losses, ruptures, and mysteries because their mission is to lead others through the portals of inner darkness. They turn pain into power, shadow into wisdom, collapse into renaissance. They are guardians of the invisible. Sagittarius carries the seal of the expanded spiritual vision. It is the search engines of cosmic truth, those who need to explore beyond the obvious. The sealed Sagittarian feels an impetus for freedom, but it is not an escape. It is the thirst for expansion of consciousness. Your mission is to teach, philosophize, illuminate paths with enthusiasm and faith. They are arrows thrown by the universe to arouse meaning in the midst of the absurd. Capricorn was sealed with the mission of building the sacred in concrete. Its spirituality is not ethereal. It is practical, solid, ancestral. The chosen Capricorns build bridges between plans. They have the strength to manifest spiritual visions in the real world. Your discipline is a divine tool. They carry codes of ancient wisdom and are the architects of the collective mission. Aquarius, with his seal of futuristic consciousness, came into the world to break standards, to anticipate movements. Sealed Aquarians are visionary, plumbing of ideas that have not yet been understood. Often they feel displaced, and it is natural, because their vibration is already in tune with what is coming. They are not rebels without cause. They are activators of the new time. And finally, Fish carries the seal of universal mystical faith. Your soul is very vast. Pisces chosen are living channels between worlds. They feel so much, they dream too much, they suffer too much, but it is because they were sealed to support high dimensions within themselves. They have the gift of compassion, mediumship, delivery. They are those who dissolve the borders of the ego to remember that we are all one. Now that you have begun to glimpse the depth of each sign mission, I want to make you an invitation. If any of these descriptions vibrated in you, you felt that one of these keys fits your soul, comments below your sign followed by the phrase, "I carry this mission." If you felt called, write, "I recognize my spiritual gift," or "I'm ready to wake up." Share your experience, your sensation, your stronger signal. And of course, if you haven't enjoyed the video yet, click like now and subscribe to the channel because the journey is just starting. The next step will be even deeper. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. Aries is the beginning, the spark, the wrist of creation. When Cayce described the divine seals, he saw Aries as the warrior of light, the one who not only acts, but leads spiritually. The sealed Ariano feels an internal, almost uncontrollable impetus to fight everything that is unfair, false, or stagnant. He does not tolerate the silence in the face of chaos. Its mission is not the fight for the ego. It is the protection of fragiles. It is the rupture of the chains of apathy. Aries do not wait for permission, because his soul has already been sent to open ways where there was no road. He feels, acts, and transforms fear in motion. When the seal is activated, the Arian becomes light in motion. Taurus, when sealed, receives the sweet weight of a sacred mission to keep the spiritual abundance of the world. Taurus did not just come to build, but to support the vibration of full life. When his seal awakens, he understands that his stability is service. He anchors spirituality in the body, food, touch, time. Its presence brings nutrition, not only physical but energetic. Where he steps, the energy grows. He heals for the constancy, the comfortable silence, the quiet force. The chosen Taurine is the guardian of the internal temple, and your mission is not just protecting, it is to teach others to feel at home within themselves. Gemini, with the seal activated, becomes the divine messenger, but it is not any word he carries. It is code, it is vibration. Cayce saw the sealed Gemini, like those who receive messages during sleep, who wake up with ideas that do not know where they came from, who speak and transform. The word in your mouths becomes an instrument of light, and not just talk to others. They translate the invisible to the visible, connect people, ideas, and worlds. Sometimes they are misunderstood, but it is because your mind captures frequencies that few have reach. They came to spread spiritual knowledge with lightness, humor, and genius. Cancer, when sealed, becomes the curator of the soul. Its sensitivity is no longer just emotion and becomes a spiritual tool. Cayce said that sealed Cancerians feel not only for themselves, but for the collective, for ancestry, for a whole lineage that calls for healing. Cancer carries the pain of those who do not know how to express. And with his hug, with his listening, with his effective memory, he sows the wounded parts of the world. Your house is not just a physical place. It is a sacred portal. The enlightened Cancerian transforms suffering into pure love. He is spiritual lap. Lion carries a seal of fire, but it is not fire of destruction. It is sacred fire. It is the light that warms, that guides, which lights the deleted hearts. Cayce said that the sealed Leonino is the one who attracts looks because his soul shines from the inside out. Its mission is not to be worshipped, but to be an example of authenticity, generosity, and courage. Awakening Lion doesn't have to compete. He knows who he is, and so it inspires others to also remember their light. When Leo lives his spiritual mission, he stops seeking stage, because he realizes that he is the stage, a mirror that reflects the power of God in others. Virgin, when sealed, reveals the beauty of the sacred detail. Cayce saw him like the restorer of the divine order. The chosen Virginian feels an inner need to fix what is out of place, to organize the spiritual mess of the world. But this mission goes beyond the physical. Virgin sees the invisible. He feels when the energy of a place is wrong. You know where there needs to be cleaning, where the error is hidden. Your analytical mind is a tool of the upper plane. He is the one who aligns, adjusts, heals accurately. When awakened, your perfectionism becomes service. His critical gaze becomes an instrument of elevation. Libra was sealed with the gift of spiritual justice. Cayce said that the Libra enlightened is more than balance. He is incarnate harmony. Libra realizes what is misaligned between people, ideas, and feelings. And not just realize, feels as if the maladjustment were inside it. Your mission is to return peace, but not any peace. It is peace that comes from the truth, the deep look, the careful listening. Libra sealed heals relationships, reconcile opposite, builds bridges where there were only walls. Its lightness is not superficial, it is spiritual. Its aesthetics is not vanity, it is alignment with the beautiful divine. Scorpio, perhaps the most enigmatic of the sealed, carries the seal of spiritual transmutation. Cayce saw the Scorpio illuminated as the one who went to hell and returned. He is born with open portals between the worlds, feels what others hide, realizes what no one dare to say. Your mission is not simple. It was sent to be bridge between light and shadow, live losses, trauma, symbolic deaths, because your soul is forged in fire. But when awakening, Scorpio becomes an alchemist, transform poison into remedy, mourning into rebirth, pain in power. He is the phoenix that flies on the ashes. Your presence changes atmospheres. Sagittarius, when sealed, becomes the guide of spiritual knowledge. Cayce said that the chosen Sagittarian is one who is not content with easy answers. He needs to search. You need to understand, need to overcome borders. But this search is not only intellectual, it is divine. He feels that there is something beyond matter and travels in body, mind, or spirit to find it. Its mission is to illuminate wisely, show ways, teach through experience. When awakened, your joy is expansion, your laugh is healing, your look is horizon. He reminds the world that the truth releases. Capricorn, the seal of the spiritual builder, carries the mission of bringing heaven to the earth. Cayce described the Capricorn sealed as the one who understands spiritual laws and can apply them to the matter. He is the architect of divine dreams. Disciplined, silent, resilient, he builds temples with his actions. Your mission is not fast, it is deep. It's not flashy, it's solid. He knows that everything has a time and respects the cycles with ancestral wisdom. Awakened Capricorn does not run out of weight. He strengthens himself because he knows he is putting each stone with spiritual intention. Aquarius, with his seal activated, becomes the driver of the new time. Cayce saw him like a living antenna. The sealed Aquarian feels the future, think out of time, captures ideas that will only be understood years later. Sometimes he feels isolated, displaced, misinterpreted, but it is because your mission is to break. It breaks structures, questions truths, proposes revolutions. Your vision is collective, your mind is cosmic. When awakened, Aquarium guides groups, causes changes, and opens ways where no one dared to look. He is not strange. It is visionary. It is a channel of a new consciousness. And finally, Fish. Cayce said that the sealed Pisceans are the keepers of universal love. They are rivers that flow between worlds. They feel everything, capture everything, dissolve everything. Its mission is to remind the world the beauty of delivery, faith, forgiveness. They often confuse their energy with others, so they get lost. But when awake, they become a pure channel of light. Pisces' empathy is collective healing portal. They dream for us, suffer for us, love us. Your pain is compassionate. Your intuition is prophetic. They are bridges between finite and eternal. Now that you have felt the spiritual vibration of each sign, I want to invite you to write here in the comments what was the sign that most touched your soul. It may be your sun sign, your ascendant, or even the one you feel that vibrates inside you. Write like this: I carry the mission of name of the sign, or I feel the seal of name of the sign in me. This strengthens your commitment to your spiritual truth. If this content spoke to your soul, click like, share this video with someone special, and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next revelations Cayce left to the chosen ones. There is still a lot to come. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. What many do not understand, and what Cayce has made it very clearly recorded in their most intense spiritual visions, is that the seal, however divine, is not permanent by divine imposition. It is not an eternal stamp that guarantees unconditional protection, mission accomplished, and constant light. The spiritual seal is a vibrational pact between the soul and the purpose it has vowed to fulfill even before incarnating. And like every pact, it needs to be fed, respected, recognized. Cayce warned, when a chosen one begins to deny his essence, ignore his gift, live against his call, the seal begins to weaken. It does not break overnight, but slowly goes out, like a candle that loses the flame until it turns just smoke. This is the most delicate point of all prophecy, because the gift that was given, if not used, turns against the one who carries it. The protection that was once felt with such force, that shiver at the right times, that inexplicable deliverance, that invisible push at the right time, begins to disappear. The universe, which once whispered in dreams, which left signs in meetings, which sent omens and synchronization, seems to silence. Intuition is confused. The soul gets tired. The way closes. And the frightening, the darkness comes back. Not as punishment, but as a consequence. Because who was chosen to carry light and choose to turn out, naturally approaches the shadow. And the problem is not being afraid, having doubts, or turning away for a while. Cayce's warning was not against human mistakes. We will all fall at some point. The warning was for the forgetfulness of the mission, for the abandonment of essence, for those who try to live as if they were common, when their souls were sealed to something larger. Do you know that weightless feeling without explanation, of spiritual tiredness? That phase in which everything seems to go wrong, in which dreams become confused, where you feel that you have lost your way. Often this is a sign that the seal is asleep, not erased, but asleep. And when this happens, the soul begins to call, scream inside, send signs. But if the person insists on ignoring, living in the automatic, pretending that he doesn't feel, disconnect grows. The veil becomes denser. The mist is covering the way again. And why does this happen? Because the sealed soul was programmed to live in alignment. She can't stand to live in half. It was not born for superficiality. When you try to deny your mission, life loses. Color loses sound, loses meaning. And the universe, by wisdom and not for punishment, begins to close the wrong doors, to force the opening of the only true door, the return to essence. Cayce was clear. The mission is not negotiable with the ego. It requires delivery. And so the chosen ones cannot settle, even if they try, even if they build an entire life based on masks, achievements that do not touch the heart, in relationships that do not nourish the soul. There comes a time when everything crumbles, and the crumbling is actually a silent invitation to awaken. This is why so many people feel they are going through an internal collapse. Often the most intense pain is, in fact, the deepest call of the soul, trying to reactivate the seal. When it all starts to get out of control, when dreams disappear, when life goes into crisis, perhaps this is the exact moment the seal tries to rekindle. But for that, it takes courage. Courage to look inside. Courage to recognize that he deviated. Courage to remember who you are even after you have forgotten for so long. The world around us is screaming. We are living times where darkness is spreading in silence, through distraction, division, spiritual disconnection. And precisely for this reason, the sealed are being called again. Only now it is not enough to have received the gift. You need to activate it, reactivate it if necessary. It is necessary to get out of the deep sleep of the routine. It is necessary to return to the original vibration of the soul. Cayce said that the gift that is not used becomes weight. And perhaps this is why so many sensitives, so many draws, so many spiritual seekers are tired. Because they are carrying the light, but they are not lighting. If you feel that your energy is locked, that your protection has disappeared, that your life has lost strength, maybe the seal is trying to warn you, not with words, but with symptoms. The soul speaks through the body, mind, the daily signs. What have you ignored? What intuitions have you silenced? What gifts have it muffled? What is called postponed? This is the time to ask, what has been sealed in me and is being suffocated by my own resistance? True spirituality is no escape, no fairy tale. It is conscious choice. And once you have been sealed, the universe will call you, with love, with signs, and if necessary, with pain. But the most important thing is to know that the flame never goes out completely. Even if the seal is weakened, it is still there. Even if you have moved away from your truth, it still lives within you. The light may be low, but it still pulsates. And the simple act of remembering this already starts to reactivate everything. Reconnection begins in recognition. When you say, yes, I walked away, but I'm coming back. When you recognize, this pain is not punishment, it is called. When you declare, I'm different, and I'm ready to accept my mission. And now, if you felt that something inside you were touched by these words, you felt that this message was written to you, then leave your comment with the phrase, I'm ready to rekindle my seal, or I reconnect with my essence. Share in the comments if you already lived any phase in which everything seemed lost, but then understood that it was just the universe forcing an awakening. Your story can illuminate someone who is in the same process now. And of course, click the like button if you want more people to receive this message of return to the essence. And subscribe to the channel because in the next stretch, let's understand what happens when the seal is reactivated and how to recognize the clear signs that your awakening has begun. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! Stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. The process of spiritual awakening is not just a beautiful idea. It is actually an internal movement that begins silent, almost imperceptible, but growing like a sacred fire within the soul. And once started, he doesn't go back, he does not undo, he doesn't shut up. When the spiritual seal begins to rekindle, there is such a profound energy change that body, mind, and spirit vibrate differently. Something that previously seemed to be disenchanted begins to align. The coincidences increase. Dreams become more intense. The deeper emotions. And all this, however disconcerting as it may seem, is part of an invisible ritual of spiritual recognition. Cayce did not talk about these rituals as external ceremonies. He has not described candles, magic words, or secret codes that need to be decorated. Spiritual recognition, according to its visions, is something that happens within the heart of the sealed person when he stops, resisting and begins to accept what he always knew. And when this recognition happens, the vibration of the body changes, the energy of the soul realizes, and the seal, once asleep, begins to throb harder. This is one of the most important moments for those who carry one of the 12 spiritual stamps described by Cayce. It is as if the universe is waiting only for a yes, a clear statement of the soul, to finally release everything that was retained. Gifts, intuitions, protection, connection, mission. And this yes can be very simple. It can be a phrase said with truth. It can be a sincere writing that breaks the pattern of spiritual silence and activates a new cycle of memory. So if you felt that this video spoke directly to your soul, if you vibrated with the words, if you cried without knowing why or got goosebumps when hearing the signs, this may be your time to say, I recognize what I am. And maybe that has never been told to you, but you can activate this seal now. It's not a joke. It is an act of choice. It is the moment when you stop fleeing your essence and starts hugging it. When you write a power phrase in the comments, as a conscious mantra, you turn a simple digital action into a spiritual act of energy affirmation. It's not just a text on the screen. It is a statement to the universe. It is like a vibrational seal being reaffirmed. And that is the power of the word, of intention, of recognition. And that's why I want to invite you now to participate in this ritual with conscience, truth, with presence. If you felt that this energy belongs to you, that this mission resonates with who you are or who is becoming, then write here in the comments, with all your soul, I was sealed. This phrase is more than symbolic. She is spiritual. It is a confirmation that you understand, that you are awake, that you position yourself. If you want to be even more specific and further strengthen your connection with what has been said so far, write your sign, followed by the phrase, I accept my mission. This generates an even clearer vibration in the field. It is as if you say, yes, I am from Leo, and I accept being a carrier of the sacred fire. Or, I am from Cancer, and I assume my mission as a curator of the soul. When you write this, something inside you recognize, and this internal recognition begins to change your energy from now on. What's more, if you have already felt that you were guided by something invisible, which was protected at times when everything seemed lost, or if you have dreamed of symbols, presences, or messages you could never explain, then write down here, my spirit woke up, or I am guided. These phrases act as emotional and spiritual gears. They activate not only you, but also strengthen the field of everyone here with you in this same process of awakening. Remember, this is not about being special above others. This is about being true with whom you always have been, even if the world tried to erase. It is about belonging to a group of souls who are here not only to survive, but to awaken, heal, guide, and remember the rest of humanity that there is a larger plan being fabric behind visible reality. If you got here, don't ignore this call. Do not let this energy pass as another content. This video is a mirror, and if you saw yourself in it, it's because the seal is already vibrating. The universe is already responding. And now it's your turn to answer too. leave your comment. Not for me, but to yourself, as a statement of truth, like a soul whisper that now wants to be heard aloud. The seal is inside. The choice of activating it is yours. Choose with the heart. Right now, I was sealed, or I accept my mission. And if you want, share your sign and what you felt during this video. Your vibration will be felt. Your word will have echo. Your awakening will not go unnoticed. In the next few minutes, we will continue this journey, because the ritual only started, and the signs that will come will be even clearer. Now that the seal has been recognized, that the vibration of the truth has begun to echo within you, there is no way to go back. The soul that awakens never fits a meaningless life again. And this moment, now, is not just the end of a video. It's the beginning of a spiritual journey that was written even before your arrival on this plan. Everything you heard so far was not entertainment. It was revelation. It was prophecy. It was code delivered to your conscience, just as you were ready to receive. The seals were activated, and the spiritual mission began. It doesn't matter if you are just starting to understand this call or have been charging signs for years. From the moment you accept this truth as part of yourself, everything around you begins to move. People who no longer vibrate with their new frequency will move away. And that's fine, because other souls, sealed, awake, guided, will start to approach you. And that's part. Cayce already said, when the spiritual seal is activated, reality reorganizes the way to be more clearly. And with each step, the universe sends confirmations, small miracles, great synchronicities, visions in dreams, phrases that play, presences you don't see but feel. If so far you have felt goosebumps, emotion, desire to cry, a good restlessness, or that feeling of, this is about me, so that's about you, because no one listens to this kind of message by chance. Spirituality does not miss the address. This prophecy came to you because your soul was prepared to open your eyes, the heart, and the internal portals of the memory. And now that this has been done, your next choice is critical. Moving on or ignoring the most important call of your existence. So if you have felt this true connection, subscribe now to the channel, not out of obligation, but as a symbol of your commitment to your spiritual journey. Here, each video is not just content, it is an extra chapter of its reconnection with its mission. When you subscribe, you say to the universe, I agree to follow conscious. I'm ready. And this choice, even looking small, moves the invisible field around it. This community you are entering is a portal, a meeting point between souls that are awakening at the same time, in different places, with different stories, but with the same seal vibrating at the bottom of the soul. And the more we come together, the stronger the spiritual field that sustains this collective awakening. You are not alone, never been, and now, even less. In the next video, you'll find out something few know, but you can completely change the way you see the signs of your life. Cayce left clues about a secret sign that each sign receives before a great spiritual turn. This sign is not always the same for everyone. It manifests itself in a unique way, sometimes through a number that is repeated, sometimes as a vivid dream, sometimes as an unlikely meeting or a message that seems to have been tailored to you. And understanding this sign can be exactly what you need to confirm once and for all that your soul is aligned with the larger plan. This sign is like a spiritual seal that pulsates strong minutes before life changes. Many people ignore, others feel, but do not understand. You now have a chance to decipher. In the next video, I will show you how to recognize this sign, how to interpret your language, and most importantly, how to act when it arises. But as long as this moment is not enough, take a deep breath and realize how much your energy has changed since the beginning of this journey. You have arrived here carrying questions, and you are coming out with more than answers. You are coming out with a living memory of who you are. And so I want to invite you again, but now with more conscience, to leave your mark here in the comments. A spiritual brand, a vibrational brand. Write your sign, followed by the phrase, I accepted my seal, or I am ready to live my mission. If you felt that something has been activated today, declare with truth. Words are portals. When you comment, you anchor the energy on the physical plane. And this is not just about visibility. It is about vibration. It's about being part. It's about saying, I'm here. I've been touched by this prophecy, and I'm not going to deny who I am anymore. And if you want to go further, share what was the strongest moment of this video for you. Did you have a part that made you shiver? An excerpt that made you cry? A sign that reminded you of something you had forgotten? Write, debt, strengthen this field. Perhaps your experience is exactly what another soul was waiting to allow yourself to awaken to. And before you leave, remember, click on like is not just an action for the algorithm. It is a gesture of recognition, gratitude, belonging. When you enjoy this video, you help this message reach other sealed souls that are looking for this spiritual reunion. And when subscribing to the channel, you enter this sacred circle where each video is another piece of the puzzle your soul wants to assemble. The seals were activated, the mission started, and now that you have been called, the way will reveal yourself, step by step, sign by the way. In the next video, get ready to discover the secret signs that precede your greatest spiritual turn. Something is about to happen, and your soul already knows. If you got here, it's because something inside you felt the call. And this is no little. Few, listening to the end, and even less those who feel with their hearts open. So if you were one of those, take a deep breath and understand. Your spiritual journey has just taken a giant step. Now, if you were touched by this message, I want to invite you with all the intention to subscribe here on the channel. This is not just a click, it's a symbol. You are saying to the universe, yes, I'm ready to continue. I want to follow my mission. Here, each new video is a code, a revelation, a step further in its spiritual path. And if you stayed until the end, comment below, I heard the call to the end. This will show that you are really committed to your awakening. And besides, you will create a wave of recognition in the comments so that others also feel that they are part of that same energy. Oh, and of course, leave your like now if you haven't done it yet. Your like helps this content to reach more sealed souls that, like you, were waiting for this message unknowingly. And now, if you want to continue your journey clearly, look to the left side of your screen. The next video is already waiting for you. In it, you will find out the secret signal each sign receives before a great spiritual turn. This sign may have gone unnoticed, but after what you will see, it will never pass again. Click there and continue with me. Your mission is just beginning.